guys, so it's the next day. We are now on day 3 of the Winterween readathon. I technically should have wore this shirt yesterday, given the book I was mostly reading was about, the supernatural, the creepy, the ghosts. But yeah, I wasn't able to give an update last night just because it was late in the night and I didn't want to talk while the rest of my family was sleeping. But it was some good news. I was able to finish Don't Open the Door. I read all of the other 3 parts. The second part, which was Ghost Stories, which I think I updated in the last clip for yesterday, but anyway, I read that, and then I read Schoolyard Legends, which was part 3, and then Folklores, which was part 4. Now, I gave the overall rating, I think, 4.5 or maybe 4.75, just because there was a few stories that I didn't really not mesh with, just like not enjoy in general. So like for the second part in Ghost Stories, there was one story that I gave 1 star just because it had sort of spooky vibes, but it wasn't overall spooked. And then for the third part, it was a lot of 3.5, 2.5, and even either 2 or 1.5 star. Folklores, it had 2 stories where I gave it 2 stars, but then all the others I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars, so that's why. So the rating kind of went up a bit higher for those. And there was a few that I recognised, and she actually does like reference this when you read like the last little bit. It had like a copypasta, which is basically what the term creepypasta comes from. So that's why I recognised a few of these stories. So like there was one, I think it was Angel Statue, which there's been like a copy pasta of it where instead of an angel statue there's a clown statue. There was a few that I hadn't actually heard of. So like there was a story called Baby Blue, and apparently it's this urban legend. It's kind of like Bloody Mary, sort of like you need a mirror, it needs to be dark, make sure you have a flashlight at the very least. And apparently you need to, I don't know, hold your arm sort of like you're cradling the baby and then call Baby Blue's name a couple of times in the mirror. And apparently you start to feel a weight in your arms, like as if it was a baby. But the longer you hold it, the heavier the baby becomes. And it even gets to as heavy as if you're holding an actual adult. But the idea is that you need to hold the baby as long as possible until you cannot, and you drop the baby. It's then however long you spent holding Baby Blue, it's how long you have to find him again. You can hear his cries in the house. This is why you need the flashlight, because you need to be actually able to see. And you need to find him, pick him up, and comfort him before the time runs out. If your time does run out, you are meant to hear the mirror you were standing in front of smash, because apparently you're not the only one who can hear the baby crying. His mother can also hear you crying. That's the legend anyway. And that's not one I've heard of, but it was really interesting. And am I going to try it? No way. I don't even try the Bloody Mary one. And then the other ones which I kind of like really liked included this story called Breathing. It was in the Ghost Stories section, where this girl and her family move into a new house, but she doesn't specifically like her bedroom, or more specifically the bunk bed in her bedroom. But her parents ignore her. She goes to sleep and she begins, if you can tell by the title, breathing. And that's how the story goes. And the last line made me laugh, because because the dad says something that makes me laugh. There was another story, Baby Blue and Angel Statue came under the Schoolyard Legend ones, and then Puppy Kiss was, I think, about this one, but I couldn't really tell. And then fourth part, that which was Folklores, I had quite a few stories in this that I actually really did like. First was like Doors to Nowhere, which kind of like is a nod to fairy doors and how you're not actually meant to go anywhere near them because you won't be able to come back out. The other ones that I found, which were quite familiar to me, which was like the Weeping Woman. I'm not gonna say the other name for her just because I will probably pronounce it wrong and I don't want to disrespect her for that reason. But if you've heard of the Weeping Woman, essentially, if you hear weeping or see this lady weeping, do not go anywhere near her. Go the opposite direction and get as far away as you can until you cannot hear her crying anymore. Do not approach her at all. And then the other two, one of which was called No, Not Dear. Now, when I was reading this, it kind of does give you sort of like Skinwalker or Windigo vibes, but apparently Not Dear is another entity which is actually not as violent as Windigos and Skinwalkers. It belongs to a specific religion, or I can't fully remember what it was. But essentially, Not Dear is a different entity who is actually can be very gentle as long as you offer it respect. And I thought that was quite cool because that means there's like 3 different entities sort of that can take on this like not so right, like, you know, human animal sort of vibes, so like, you know, Windigos, Skinwalkers, and now you have the Not Dear. I thought that was really interesting, and I kind of actually want to read more into what Not Dear is and the differences between it and Skinwalkers and Windigos. And then the final one that I really liked in the folklore, which was Nowhere Pit. Now apparently this is a pit you will stumble across when you're not looking for it, and anything you throw in this pit, sometimes something gets spit out that's not entirely the same. And there's this bully who literally tells another kid to go down into the hole and refuses to bring him back up. And the kid starts screaming, and when they do try to pull him up after he starts screaming, there is nothing on the end of the rope. The ending is kind of a bit of karma, in my opinion, but again, it kind of ties into the Doors to Nowhere story, where just don't go anywhere near it, just walk away. It was creepy, to say the least. So I think in my last update last night, I said I got to part 3. I wasn't able to read this because, like I said, it was quite late, which is why I didn't do the final review for yesterday. But I do plan to finish this today, and, you know, maybe drop this and one of the other books back down to the library.